Hi guys, Happy New Year and welcome back to my channel. My name is Patricia. In this video, I will be showing you how I altered two black denim pants that I've been wearing disgracefully as is, but that ends as of today. If this is something that interests you, please make sure to watch the video to the end. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if this helps you in any way. Now let's get to the video. So I'll be altering these two pants using an old pair of denim pants or jeans that fits me well. I will also be using a few pins to help me, my tape measure, my tailor's chalk, and my seam ripper. So for the first pair of pants, I will be tapering the hem to be more flattering than it is right now. I have had this pair of pants for a while now and it's quite upsetting I didn't do this earlier. So I start off by laying my jeans that has a hem that I like on top of the one to be altered, and I then pin the point where the excess fabric starts. Now I can go ahead to put away my pair of model pants. Next, I use my tape measure to measure the excess fabric, which I will be transferring later on. I got about 3/4 of an inch or 2 centimeters. I then use my chalk to mark that point. Next, I use my seam ripper to unpick the hem of the pants about 2 inches away from the side seams on both sides. My alteration will be on the outer part of the pant leg because it has the easier seam. I am not trying to tackle the side that has the flat seam, no. Next, I go ahead to turn the pants inside out. I then transfer the measurements taken earlier, making sure I'm transferring at the hem. Bear in mind, we did unpick the hem, so there is excess fabric. I then pin again to mark my points, and I use my ruler to draw a line that tapers into the existing side seam of the pant. You can also use a tape measure to draw the line if you do not have a ruler. Next, I pin on the line just drawn. And using my ruler, I measure the distance of that line to be transferred to the other leg. For the other leg, I mark my point on the hem and I transfer the distance that I measured from the previous leg. I drew a line, pinned it, and took it to a sewing machine. It's time to sew our pants. Ideally, I would recommend that you use jeans thread. I don't have jeans thread, so I'm going to use what I have, which is in black thread. Because my jeans is black, for the other side, I'm starting from the top because you always want your fabric to be on the left side and not on the right side. Otherwise, you're going to struggle because all the fabric is going to bunch up in this space. So in this case, you're going to come from the part that is already tapered in. So now that my stitching is complete for this first pair of pants, I can either trim the excess off and use a zigzag stitch to finish the raw edges. In my case, I'll be using my serger to cut the excess fabric off while I finish the raw edges at the same time. The final step is to sew the hem back in place, and this pair of pants is done. I also gave it a good press to lay the seams down. Now let's move on to the other pair of pants. This one I got not too long ago and I have been folding it in the few times that I have worn it. But let me tell you, I don't know how to fold a pair of pants to save my life. I'm not able to fold it nicely, plus it is way too long, so we have to shorten it. I really like these pair of pants because they're really stretchy and it has a good quality. So again, I lay my model denim pants on the pant to be altered. Using my chalk, I mark my desired length and I use my ruler to connect those marks. To ensure evenness, I measured the distance marked and I repeated all around the leg. When I'm done with that, I go ahead to align the original hem to the newly drawn line, which is essentially serving as my new seam line, while I maintain the original hem of the jeans. Once I got that right, I pin all around and I use my chalk to mark my new folded line. I'm just making sure I'm marking the folded line just so that when I turn it inside out, I'm going to know where I need to mark. Next, I go ahead to turn my pants inside out. I remove the pins, measure to ensure evenness from the marked line to the hem. I initially had a measurement of 2 inches, but I adjusted that a little bit, so make sure the length is to your desired liking. And guys, you don't really have to measure as much as I am doing. I just want to make sure it is even. I don't want to go back and forth, so I'm just doing everything in one take. I know it is a lot of measurements, but that's just how you can, get your work looking nice and neat and perfect. Perfection is not the goal, but then as much as you can get it to look nice, that is the goal. So next I go ahead to fold the hem in on the folded line and I pin to secure the fold while I turn it to the right side. Okay, so after turning my pants to the right side, I go ahead to measure for the last time to ensure evenness. Evenness, okay, and I pin that as well. I go ahead to make sure also that my seams are properly aligned, okay, and I go ahead to do the same thing for the other leg, and it is time to take it to the sewing machine. Next, I cut the excess fabric and I serged the raw edges and I was done. I made sure to press it down for a nice seamless look. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch my video. I really appreciate you all for that. Please make sure to like and leave a comment on this video to help me out, and also make sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so to encourage me and bring you guys more content. Love you all. Bye.